Hi, this time we will be working on Masteries 23 and 25. 23 is the creation and use of lists in Python, and 25 is the creation and use of ranges in Python. So, starting off with list, what is a list? A list is a type of data that contains a number of objects in a given order. Each has an index that you can use to find each of the elements. It allows you to add and remove objects from the sequence as well. For example, the syntax of a list, a simple list, will be something like this. Here, with these brackets. That's the basic syntax of a list. Now, for example, if you want an empty list, you can write it like this, or just list. This function allows you to transform value into lists. For example, you have a certain a lot of numbers in a line, and you do that function. You will separate each number and create an element for each number in a list. But this only creates an empty list. Well, for example, let's say we have a variable. This variable is called um, range. No, radius. Hello, hello, stop. It will be equal to hello world. And now we want to make this a list, so L will be a list version of stuff. So list stuff. We do this and then we print L, and here it separates each element of the string into list. This element H A L L O space W O R L D, and so you can use range or text and split and whatever, and with this you make it into lists. This is quite useful when you want to search for a certain thing in a group of data, or you want to add certain data to a list, so you have it all controlled, and each of them have an index, a position, so it's easy to find. There are other functions for lists. For example, let's print len, that's a function for list, and L, and it prints the number of elements inside the list. It says 11. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the number of elements inside the list. And now, for example, let's write item is equal L index. For index, let's write 3. And then we print item. It prints the element that's position 3, 1, 2, 3, that's the L, and that's what it was printed. Or if you want a certain chunk of this, for example, sequence, just sequence like that, it will be L, and then when you want to start, let's say we want to start from 4 and we want to stop, say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop on 8. And we print that. We have the starts from here, and then goes from here to the 8th element. So remember, you're not gonna have this element. If you want this element, you will have to go from 3. It's different than range, that the last one is the one that's not present. Here is the first one. And these are basic uses of list. Now moving on to range. What is range? It's basically in a list also. It generates a list of numbers. It is usually used for to iterate over for loops. But there's also many other uses. If you want to perform an action X number of times, but you may or may not care about the index because, well, it's still a list numbers. An example for this will be using a for loop for in range. If we can write the start. Here we can see if you just write a number, that when the range will stop, we will go from 0 to that number. But if you want to, for example, let's say 5, no? That's the stop value we want, no? And we print the variable. It goes from 0 to 4. Remember, the last element does not show. But what if we want another range, not from 0? So we can see you have this, let's go until here, the start and stop. Say we want to start from 3 and stop at 6, and then we print the variable. It will go from 3 to 4, 5, and 6 is not present. Stop is not present. And what if we want to go? Now we want to use this. If we want the range to start, stop, and step, the step is gonna go if, for example, we want for it to start at 4 and stop at 9, the stop will be 10. But we want it to go from 2 to 2, values of 2. So that's the step. So we print the variable. And we go from 4, then 2 is 6, and 2 is 8, and 2 will be 10, but remember the stop's not present. So it goes from 4 to 10, but only values in 2's. And that's basically the uses of range. Is more useful when used for an iteration. And those are the functions you can use for it. As you can see, it's stop or steps, start, stop, and step, and we just watch what each of those do. So that's That's what you have, the difference between a list and a range.